So you're going to look at the woman with the 20 and be like, oh, she has a 20 body count. So that means I can't love her because she's not capable of love and she's clearly damaged.
Yeah.
So let's just judge her by her body count.
Exactly.
I'm going to go with number 5 because 5 is lower and she's lovable. Like I could tell just by her having only 5 that she's like a wife material.
Yeah, because 5 values herself more. That's why she's not sleeping around.
Warning. This video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You guys know it's Kev, and we're back again with the beautiful Miss Steph over here.
Hey, guys.
So, last time we did more Andrew Tate, and this time I think we're going to do another one from the Whatever podcast. Have you ever seen the Whatever podcast?
I never heard of them.
Oh, you never heard of them? Okay, you're in for a delight. They're actually really good. I like them a lot, and I want to see what you think about them. So today we're gonna watch. This video is based feminists think about body counts.
Okay.
Right? You know, like girls and body counts and guys and body counts.
All right.
All right. Before we get into the video, guys, can you do me a big favor right now? Can you guys give the video a big thumbs up? That helps me a lot. For you guys who are new, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys turn all notifications bells on. And yeah, let's get into this video.
How would you think would be the best way to do that, to change the culture? As you guys, you guys are men, right?
I got something for this.
Please.
Do you guys know who Andrew Tate is?
Oh, yes.
The man, the legend.
Yes.
The great.
They all moaning.
They all love him.
His recommendation, his suggestion, I don't know if it's the right move. He said, the way to fix all the world's problems, his words, not mine, is put a woman's body count on her forehead, and I'll fix everything.
Thank you so much. That was so helpful. That was so helpful.
It usually would. So
It would.
I'm going to open it up to you guys. Do you think that would fix a lot of problems?
What problems?
I would like to comment on this.
Problems with women.
Guys, too,
No.
because
Yeah, problems with women. A guy will know right away, like, okay, this girl is a damaged girl. Stay away from her.
That's stupid because you know what? You guys ever heard of people change? Someone could have a body count from like many years ago when they were young because they were, young, dumb, going through shit, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're now in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, and they have that body count follows with them. You're going to be like, oh, that person, like, no.
Yeah, how come they didn't want to settle down when they're younger, but now they want to settle down?
I'm talking about when they're like in their teens. Who the hell settles down at 16?
Well, they don't 17. Need to sleep around, That's why I feel like if a girl's body's count on their forehead, for me, I would say she's damaged. I will stay away from her. That's just my opinion, But again,
she's damaged. Like, come on.
That's what it is. That's how you know these girls are damaged, man. You stay away from these damaged girls.
So then if these guys had the number count on their forehead,
more likely, if they did, more likely the guy's body count would probably be lower than the girls, to be honest. Because like I said, it's easier for a girl to sleep around than it is for a guy.
Hey, I can tell you, I know plenty of men who have a high ass body count.
That is very true. But more likely, these guys either have money.
They don't have money.
So these poor guys are doing it. Geez, I need to know what they're doing. Because I can count on my fingers still. Okay.
Yeah, but that's you.
Oh.
So a lot of these poor men.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
These poor men.
Excuse me. It's not a bad thing they count on one hand, is it? Well, 2 hands.
Anyway.
Oh shit.
So
I guess it is a bad thing.
These men, they are attractive men. They are smooth operators. They know how to
fool these dumb girls.
I couldn't even just fool because some of these girls just want to have fun and that's it, right?
Girls just want to have fun, right?
Yeah. So that's that.
Yeah, so I need the body count of their forehead.
Anyways, like
watching.
I said.
Let's keep watching.
Irrelevant.
There's a lot of guys that will have their hoe phase too. I think just because someone had a hoe phase in college doesn't mean that they aren't worth loving when they're in that period later in life. And I think Andrew Tate is referring to people in college and younger people when looking for people to hook up with or people to get in a relationship with. But if you take his claim towards just all women in general, everyone has those periods in their life,
Not everyone.
Yes, not everyone.
Yeah, not everyone.
Like, I should not generalize, but a lot of people have those times in their life, and I don't think men or women should be judged for that. So I don't know. It depends on the person too. Like, if you're not okay with it, then you're not meant to like talk to that person, and then you find someone that, you know, matches your ideals a little bit more.
Doesn't matter.
Even like,
before I have you guys come in, I just want to go around the panel on that. So, do you think that would solve all the world's problems if we put the body count on the floor? Not my word. That's Andrew Tate's suggestion. You guys know he got banned, so maybe he could be wrong. He got canceled. So, thoughts on that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's completely superficial and not important when you're talking to people. I think that body count's a social construct in general. I don't think it's productive.
Body count's a social construct?
Yeah, I think that people put a lot of social importance on it. And when it's to me, and I think to a lot of other people, it's not important. Like, it doesn't matter.
I agree with her. We had a conversation like this when we were driving to a concert. And I agree. I think that, like, body count, it's interesting how it refers to, like, how many people you've had sex with, not, like, how many times you've had sex.
Why is that?
Because, like, I don't know.
One body is one body, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, someone could have sex, like, 7 times, and with like 7 different people, and their body count would be 7, whereas like someone could have sex like 100 times with like one person, and like in societal eyes it still deems them like less respectable.
So let me ask you a question. Let's say you have 2 people, right? Both of them have had sex 1,000 times. One of those people has had sex 1,000 times with one person. The other person has had sex 1,000 times with 300 total different people. Jeez. Do you think there's going to be differences in the way those 2 people develop as people because of how many people they've had sex with? Like, do you think the person who's had sex with one person 1,000 times versus 300 different people, that might change the way that they grow and develop and look at the world? Or is it the same?
I think it depends on like a lot of different things.
It does. It depends on the person.
It always depends.
It does.
Depends on like your like relationship status, like what's your relationship like, and like also like what the person wants to do and like the context with it. But I don't think that like it's something that people should be like judged for. Like,
well, we're not talking about judgment here. Like, so the reason why I asked you that question is because I think if somebody's had sex with 300 different people, the way that they approach relationships, the way that they approach trusting other people, their ability to
they're damaged.
Other people, I think is going to be like severely affected.
Okay, but we're talking about 300. That's a high number.
Yeah, but they're still, like I said, they're not body count. I would know instantly, okay, this girl is more likely damaged or some kind of issue. That's why she couldn't find that person. That's why she had to go to 300 people.
So
in order to find.
Let me say that this is what's hilarious. Okay, so now let's say all of us women are rocking. Oh my God. Let's start that over. Clap. Okay, so this is what I find hilarious. Let's say women are walking around with our body count on our forehead, okay?
Yeah.
And you men have no body count on your forehead. So now you think, or Tate thinks, that the world will be a better place if you could see our body count. Now, let's say I get with a guy and that guy is damaged.
Okay.
So how does this make the world better? He could be just as damaged.
I feel like
sleeping with me, sleeping with her, sleeping with whoever.
But when you see the number, like I say, if the number is low, you would be more like, okay, well, his number's kind of low. Maybe he's all right. I can give him a try. Like, try to date him because the number is low. But rather than seeing a guy with a high number, like, oh, okay, what would instantly think you've seen this guy with like 300 on his head?
Okay, so let me just say this.
You'll probably be like, okay, I don't want to deal with this guy because obviously he's been just sleeping around with a whole bunch of girls. I'm probably the next one in line.
Okay, so you know the saying, don't judge a book by its cover?
Okay.
That's exactly what you're doing. You're judging a woman by her body count.
You're not judging the book.
You're judging a woman.
Because she chose to do that, though. She chose to sleep with a bunch of guys, right?
We're not talking about if she's choosing to sleep with a bunch of guys. We're talking about...
That was the body count for.
Okay, no. He said the body count was for seeing how many women she slept with
or guys. Yeah.
Therefore, it would tell the guy if she's worth loving. And that's where I said judging a book by its cover. You're going to sit there and judge a woman and look at her and be like, oh, she slept with.
It's just the experience. She's obviously been experienced. That's why her numbers are so high. So she has experience, right? But that's not what
Tate is saying.
That's exactly what he's saying.
He's saying that it would make the world better if men knew what girls to fuck with, judging by how many men she slept with.
Yes, because you'll know. And the thing about it, you'll be more cautious. And also the girl will know her body count's under her forehead. So she'd be more cautious in which guy she's going to sleep with or not, or get together with or not. Because she'd be like, okay, well, my number's going to go up and maybe the other guys won't see me as a worthy mate or a woman for them.
Okay, so that's exactly what I'm saying.
They'll be very careful of who they sleep with from now on. So that's why I can't understand where he's going with that.
But that's not what Tate is saying.
That is exactly what he's saying.
No, it's
People
not.
Be more cautious. Like if you had a number in your forehead and everyone could see it, trust me, the next guy you sleep with, you think twice. Like, okay, is this guy the one for me? Probably not. Or you'll make sure you know if he's the one or not before you sleep with him, because you don't want that number to go up in your head. Right? You wouldn't want the number to go up because people starts thinking like, holy shit.
Okay, so this is my understanding of what they're talking about right now and what I've heard Tate say. He's saying you're going to walk around with your body count on your forehead to see if that's the kind of girl that you want to be with or not. If her body count is high, then she's not a wife material person that you want to love.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry.
So you're judging the book by its cover.
No.
Yes. Okay, let me finish.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
You're judging a book by its cover because now the woman's the book, okay? And she and her cover is her body count. So you're going to look at this woman who has 20 body count, and then there's another woman who has 5. So you're going to look at the woman with the 20 and be like, oh, she has a 20 body count. So that means I can't love her because she's not capable of love and she's clearly damaged.
Yep.
So let's just judge her by her body count.
Exactly.
I'm going to go with number 5 because 5 is lower and she's lovable. I could tell just by her having only 5 that she's like a wife material.
Yeah, because 5 values herself more. That's why she's not sleeping around.
Or 5 just means she didn't get 5. She couldn't get more.
Because she's very careful of who she sleeps with.
But who said it had to do with being careful?
Well, that's the value. She knows her value, so she doesn't just go sleep around with a whole bunch of guys.
But it's not always about being careful. Some of these women just don't have the
20. The guy with 20, a girl with 20, she doesn't know her value yet. That's why she keeps looking.
See, but this is where I'm talking about. You're judging a book by its cover because that woman, it doesn't matter because that woman is 20. You're basically saying that she's not lovable and you can't be with this woman because she's not going to be like a wife. He said that. Tate said that.
It'll be better for everyone else to know, and even for the woman, because then she'll know I better be careful of who I sleep with from now on, or make sure that he's the one, because I don't want my number to go higher.
Like I said, and like I said before, and even the other girl said it, this woman that has 20 doesn't mean that she doesn't value herself. One, it could have been her just having fun.
She's just a hoe.
Just a hoe, like the man can be a hoe.
Okay.
She's having fun, maybe. Maybe when she was younger, like I mentioned, she was doing stupid stuff. She didn't really know any better.
Yeah.
She's just exploring, whatever the case is, maybe.
You can explore without sleeping with people, right?
Anyway, what?
You can explore, like go hang out with people or date people without sleeping.
Let me just say this, because this is what's irritating. You say these things, but men do the complete same thing.
That's why if both men and women had it.
Yeah, but he was just saying only women should have that and men just walk around freely. Because remember, he did say that women should be allowed to men should be allowed to just go fuck around. Yeah. And that's where I don't like what he says.
Well, he says men of stature. You gotta remember that. The people always mistaken that. He didn't say lower men who haven't worked for it or earned it. Men of stature.
Okay, whatever.
Men with money. That's what people keep missing. He's not telling every average bum to go out there and go do the same thing he does. No, you can't, because it doesn't make any sense. But for these men of stature who have money, cars, houses, just rich, these girls will still stay with them and be with them because they know they're going to be taken care of. So he's saying men of stature, not the regular day guys. they shouldn't be doing that.
See, but I've heard other videos where he doesn't say men of stature.
He always says men of stature. A lot of the videos, they chop those parts out, but he always says men who worked hard and earned it. Not these lower guys, like guys who haven't earned it. That's the mistake.
So earned like what? A trophy wife? Wives?
Men who worked hard. A man is going to protect his family, protects his wife, bring money in, and support the family. That's what he's saying. Not these lower class guys who are taking it out of context and thinking, oh, we should just slap your women and everything. No one said that.
Okay, so what if
you have to make sure you take care of your wife and take care of your family. Handle your stuff, not just be like, okay, bitch, you gotta go clean for me. Like,
so what he has to take care of his family, a man of stature, taking care of his family, and so that makes it okay for him to fuck another woman.
Well, it happens. It's just proven. Like, think about it. It just in centuries they've proven. Like Genghis Khan, he had a whole bunch of wives. Alexander the Great had a whole bunch of wives. Even do more modern. Like I like bring him to Cannon. He had a whole bunch of wives. Chris Brown, he has a girlfriend still fucking around. So and girls know this and they still do it. They still go with them anyway. Right?
Yeah, but you have to also realize that Chris Brown isn't married.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
A lot of those men that do that aren't married.
He has a girlfriend for sure, and he's still fucking around. And girls do know this, and they're still fucking around with them. Right?
Anyways.
You tell me you wouldn't?
No.
You wouldn't fuck around Chris Brown?
The thing is,
let's keep playing. Let's keep playing the video. We talked too much already.
If you had sex with one person and they've been faithful to you their whole life, like you're probably going to have a very solid relationship with them. But if you've been with 300 different people, you're probably going to have a lot of baggage, probably a lot of emotional trauma. Potentially, you might not look at sex as like a very intimate thing. You know, like I don't know. It just like loses its like sacredness to me. You know, I think it would really change a person a lot.
Yeah. I want to open it back up to the question I was previously asking. If you want to.
Yeah. So.
Or do you want to respond to Chase?
Oh no, that's
first?
okay. That's okay. I think it's a good point. Yeah.
It is a good point.
Okay. Well, if we're talking about body count
on the forehead,
so nervous now.
Is that the solution the world needs?
Maybe to Andrew Tate, yes. But to the rest of society, I feel like it's definitely a no. I don't think that everybody should know how many people that you slept with. I feel like that's kind of your personal information and for you and you only, right? I mean, unless you'd like to share it, then obviously that's great, right?
If a guy asked you your body count, like a potential romantic partner, would you refuse to answer that question?
I think it depends on the relationship that you have with that person. I mean, if it's just like someone that you're going to hook up with and they ask you, well, what's your body count? To me, that's a little bit disrespectful because it's like, well, I mean, if it's
you're already
established that we're just hooking up like once kind of thing, it's like, why are you asking? But if it's someone that you're kind of looking to start a really serious relationship with, I think it's a valid question. I think that's like a piece of information that maybe they should know. So to answer your question, no, I don't think it's a good solution. I would definitely agree with that. I don't think it's the best solution. I think what it ended up doing is it lead people to kind of like be judged before you actually get to know them.
I just said that.
I definitely came to UCSB with like, for example, a perception of, let's say, frat guys. Like all they want to go and do is like hook up with people. They don't really want a genuine relationship. They're not like genuine or down to earth. And it actually wasn't until like recently that I found out like, oh, that's actually not true. And because I came in with like that initial perception, it definitely affected how I treated other people or how I, perceived different people and how I acted with them. So I think that really if you go and get to know a person without kind of just like initially judging them, especially based off of the body count, it can maybe help you form like maybe a relationship that's a little bit deeper. Obviously, like eventually like it would be good to know, but it does depend on like what you are looking for in a person. If you are looking for a relationship, then I think it's a very like, a question that obviously can go and come up. But like for the initially just knowing like right there on your forehead, I think it would just end up causing like a lot of prejudice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the solution. I don't think it would solve all the world's problems. I personally think I think communication is the solution. But if someone asked me, I disagree with what she said over there. If someone asked me what my body count is, I would tell them. I mean, if they react poorly to it, then I'm not going to hook up with them. I feel like that's a huge red flag, but I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. I mean, I've done what I've done, and there's no point in like trying to hide that or pretend that it is something.
So why bother hide it? Would you tell someone if they asked you? Or are you ashamed of it?
So it has nothing to do with being ashamed. It's the fact that people judge.
So
they judge. Okay, so I feel like knowing a body count is irrelevant.
Why?
It just brings a whole bunch of like issues.
But you did it, so are you ashamed?
But why does it matter?
Sometimes people just want to know.
Then
Let them make. If you're not ashamed of it, just say, okay, well, this is how many, and that's it. You still want to be with me or not? Let the person decide after that. Right?
Not everyone's going to be telling the truth. So this is why I'm saying it doesn't even matter to even ask those kind of questions.
So this is why it's good to have it on your forehead.
No, that's just dumb.
Okay.
Bad.
I think it'd be beneficial. I think that if, people were to say, if I was just looking for somebody to hook up with, and they're like, oh, like you and me, we're the same. Or if people were looking for somebody that's a little bit more stable and something more serious, they could like immediately tell that. It would save a lot of time.
Yeah.
But like, I have a question.
See, but that's the problem again. Like I said, like us person could have been doing their thing, enjoying life when they're younger, and then now when they're older and they have this number in their head, they want to settle down now. They don't want to do what they were doing when they were younger. So now you're going to be like, oh, she's not the same. But it's like, hello,
well, I think,
get to know me, talk to me. I'm looking for someone.
I think what it is saying that too low count people would want to stay with too low count people. Too high count people are going to stay with too high count people.
See, but this is just where it gets stupid and messy. It's like,
well, you chose that life.
No, it has.
They chose.
You're not
life.
listening to what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is where it gets messy. Sure, you can be like, oh, I want to be with a 2 count person, 2 count, whatever. But that doesn't make the person that has 2 count, maybe they don't want to settle down.
What do you mean? They're obviously not fucking around. So
yeah, but okay.
That's why their numbers are low.
Not everybody.
Maybe they're working on themselves when they're younger. That's what they were doing. So maybe now that they're older, they're starting to look for that person.
Or that person's count is low because they were too busy focusing on school and everything, and they never gotten to that point to like wow out. Because there are people.
Not everyone wows out though, right?
But that's exactly what I was just saying. So she could still have a low count.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean she wants to get in a serious relationship or anything like that.
But for me as a guy, just because I see the lower count, I feel like she's more desirable to me. Like if I see a girl with a high number compared to a girl with a lower number, I'm going for the girl with the lower number.
Right, but that doesn't mean that she's going to be perfect for you. Like, for example,
it doesn't mean.
And like for me, if I see a guy, let's say if a guy has a number in his head and it's high, I would be questionable about it, and it's only because I'll be thinking, oh my god, is this guy like a cheater? Is he like a player? Not because of the fact that he had sex with all those people, but the fact that I'm thinking, oh my god, is he a cheater?
Yeah.
But in men's point of view, you're looking at that as, oh, she's discreditable because her number's high. No, not that if she's going to cheat on you.
I'll let you know. It's the same thing. I'll be like, this girl obviously just sleeps around a lot. That's why her number's so high. I would think like, okay, maybe I don't think this girl deserves my time, especially if my body count is much lower. I would probably like, okay, you know what? Since you like doing your thing, me and you are not meant to. I don't think we're going to work. And it will save me so much time because you don't have to explain to me why your count is high. You won't have to tell me, oh, I was just having my phase, because I won't care at that point. I will just see the number. I'm like, okay, we don't need to talk.
And see, that's the problem, because you're judging a person. Like I said, that could be their past and they could be different. You could be looking at a woman with like a 20 count and she's like actually perfect for you. She's a perfect match. She's actually a really respectable woman. She's this and this and this.
After her life experience.
It doesn't matter though.
After everything she went through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then you look at, so what? So what? She's still a respectable person. Why does that past matter? As long as she's bringing whatever she has to the table now.
There's also a lot of baggage with that usually.
There is no baggage.
Like, who knows if she's damaged?
Yeah, but okay, let me rephrase that again. Yes, some of them can be damaged, but again, I'm referring to the women that might have done their time and is now changed as she gotten older. She has found herself. She went through all that crap to find who she is today. And the whole damage stuff, she already worked that out. So she knows herself. This is realistically. Okay. Because there are people who've the same thing as like drug addicts and whatever. Yeah, they've recovered, right? Yeah. So you could recover being a hoe or whatever you want to call it, having fun.
Yeah.
And be different. right?
Yeah.
Just like if you see the girl that has 5,
Yeah.
you might be like, okay, you know what? Her count's lower. Let me be with her. And then
Yeah.
she's not what you're looking for. She's not your type of woman. She doesn't know how to
more
be.
likely she probably would.
No, it's not always more likely.
Okay.
Because you got to forget the freaking count, okay? You could meet a girl on the street right there and be like, oh, yeah, let me get to know her. And she's not the type for you. She's not a respectable woman. She puts you down. She doesn't know how to treat you well or appreciate you. And then you can meet this other woman and she's the complete opposite without knowing their body count.
Yeah.
And then now they want to reveal it, shing, shing, okay? And then that one that respected you had the 20 and the other one had the 5.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to say.
I guess that's true.
Right.
But at the end of the day, still most guys will always choose someone who has less. And
they can choose it, but that doesn't mean you're gonna get a winner. Like,
and that's when you see a lot of older guys with younger girls is because they usually go for the younger girls because they're more likely body counts lower than a girl that's in their 30s, 35. Right?
That's not, well,
Majority
I
of
guess.
the time, because the girls in the 35s guarantee you when she was in her 20s, she did her craziness or whatever, had fun, hooked up.
Not all of them.
And now that she's ready to settle down, she's looking for an older guy, but she's already done everything with that.
But why does that matter if she's already done everything? Wouldn't you want the experienced over the other one?
Most guys, I know for me, would prefer some experience new things with that new person that hasn't done it. Okay, just saying.
That's just dumb.
I'm just saying as a guy. I know you're here saying you're from as a girl's point of view, but I'm just saying as a guy's point of view. All right.
Okay, so you want to experience new things with her?
Yes.
Okay.
So, anyways,
in my experience, I'd rather be with the guy who knows what he's doing. I don't like to be with the guy who's inexperienced. Yes, I can train him, but that's too much. I want to be with the guy who knows what he's doing.
All right.
But he's not like, cheating kind of thing.
All right. Let's just leave it there and let's continue.
Okay.
Can I follow up on that? So you went and said if you're looking to hook up. So I think maybe the body count versus someone who's looking to hook up is different. Because for example, you were saying, Chase, that you were a different person freshman year. So maybe your body count's really high, but now you're a different person. So if you just went and had that number on your forehead, they're going to perceive you or judge you based off of your past actions and not based off your actions today. So maybe that's obvious. It would be really simple. It's kind of like if every girl and guy got introduced and a guy knew, oh, she's into me because she said, oh, I'm into you. Why don't we start that instead of maybe playing them? Obviously that would be really helpful for everyone. So is that kind of what you mean? Maybe the body count or kind of going and talking to them and saying, hey, are you just in it to hook up? Or do you actually maybe want to start something a little bit more serious?
I mean, part of it is atonement, for what you've done, but then also it could just be someone they see it. And then for somebody that's just hard no. Mm-hmm. And that's just that. For somebody, they might be like, hey, you might have had some kind of phase, might have done something, but I can get over that. I can talk to you. I can like you as a person, get over that. But I mean, for some people, they're going to be able to do that. For some people, they're not going to be able to, and for them, then that's cut and dry right there. If somebody wants to make that assumption and be absolutely not, right there, no, then that's on them. If somebody wants to be hey, this could still be a good person, whatnot, then, that's on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So before I answer that question, Brian, can I ask you to flesh out why Andrew Tate thinks that putting body counts on people's foreheads would solve all the world's problems?
You know what? I don't recall precisely his reasoning. I just remember the quip that he made. So, I don't want to misspeak for him. So,
well, I vaguely recall hearing a clip where he was talking about this, and basically it came down to the more people that you have sex with in your lifetime. Like we talked about in the last episode that we did,
By the way, can I just ask you, do you think we should, because we've talked about body count so much, do you think we should try to cover tonight? Do you think we should try to cover some other topics or?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Not stay on it too long.
I think we fixated on it for a while last time, and I think there's a lot of other topics that we can cover.
So we'll touch on it a bit, then we'll try to move on.
Yeah. So from what I understand, Andrew Tate's perspective for why he said that. I personally, when I'm thinking about the kind of woman that I want to marry, how many men she's slept with matters to me because they've done studies, and the more people that a person has sex with in their lifetime, it significantly increases their chances of getting divorced. What'd you say?
Oxytocin. Like I was saying before, the amount of oxytocin release.
Yeah, I think it desensitizes you to, like, if you've slept with like 100 people, when you're releasing that bonding hormone, if you've released it with 100 people, I think it's going to like significantly desensitize your ability to connect with like another person in that deep, intimate way. And I think that's important. Like, I personally believe that God created our bodies to release that hormone so that we can deeply connect with another person and like really have like a close connection with them. And I think when people sleep with a lot of people long term, you kind of lose some of that. And divorce rates have increased in the past few decades. Here in California, it's like 50%. I really care about like people having healthy marriages. Like, I really want to have one. My parents did not have one. It sucked. And I think that like a lot of the world's problems come from the fact that, they have broken families. And when it comes to putting body counts on people's foreheads, like, let me ask you guys this, like, as women, would you feel judged if your body counts were on your foreheads?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of them.
Do you think it might entice you to sleep with less men if that was the situation?
Yes.
I don't think that's a fair question at all.
Why? Why not?
I said yes. Well, I just think that it, like, when you're talking about body count, especially because most of us know that is not the way. The two men at the table seemed to agree with that statement. I think that body counts disproportionately have a negative effect on women than they do men.
For
and
sure.
They also have a negative effect on men in the sense that men feel pressured to have higher body counts, women feel pressured to have lower body counts. And I just think that that's like, I don't know. It's just, it's not.
You're right. It is an unfair question because there's a double standard there. It's absolutely unfair. But the question was, if we did live in a world where your body count was broadcasted, do you think it would motivate you to sleep with less men?
I think it depends on the person. I mean, to go back to
Always
what she
depends.
said, there is a double standard. And so if you were to say
Just ask the
guys
question.
versus girls, guys have a body count on their head and girls have a body count on their head.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that it would make the men just be like, oh yeah, great. Like, let's just keep going. And then it would make the girls, because of the double standard, be like, oh, well, absolutely not. I don't want people to think that I sleep around. Like, there's such a negative stereotype behind that. So I think it would have a different effect for boys and for girls. So yeah.
I mean, they kind of eat their own. Like, again, if a guy was like, oh, I'm just going to rack up this body count, then again, with changing culture and influence and whatnot, you could be like, yo, that's disgusting. Like, not going to sleep with you. And then, hey, any woman that, again, like wants to do that, like, hey, go for it. But then it would just separate people based on what they like and what they value, you know?
I think that,
oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that's actually like, I don't know, the more I think about it, the more I realize like how negative it is, because like, I think the reason, and we talked about this in the car too, the reason why like men care, I think at least, like about low body counts is because I think they like, I'm not saying this is all men, but I'm saying that a lot of men like to have that like sense of ownership, like, oh, like this is like untouched, like no one else like saw this besides me, you know?
Oh, you said that.
That's, like,
for men.
I think that's like such a, I think it would like, if that were, if like my body count was broadcasted on my forehead or like any girls was, then I think that would like just create more of like this society where like men feel ownership over women.
Yeah, I gotta agree with her on that one right there. That one, she got me there. Like, I didn't want to say it, but she said it. I feel that lower the body count it's more likely that you'll be the only one who's actually slept with this girl, right? Compared to you, who knows, walking down the street and like, that guy slept with her. This guy slept with her. Holy shit! Did you sleep with her too? Like, as a guy, I don't like that. As a guy, I don't like that, and I wouldn't want to be with a girl who slept everywhere, because you never know. Like, you'd be talking to someone and who knows, she slept with that guy, or her friend slept with her friend. That's like the worst ones for me. Like, girls that sleep with your friends, that's the worst one for me. So I do still think the body count would on their forehead will fix a lot of things for both men and women, not just women, for both men and women.
I disagree.
So you disagree? You still you want to keep your body count private?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we just started all over and we were born with this number, and as children we're like, what is this on our head? And they're like, oh, that's your body count.
Yeah. Don't let it go too high.
Yeah. Then I can see
You'd be more responsible about who you sleep with.
Yeah. Right? But if you just be like, now here's your body count, you're like, it's a little bit different. But if you go like that,
some girls racked them up way too high, or some guys racked them up way too high.
Yeah.
Still count my fingers. I don't need toes. Do you need toes? Oh, no comment.
Do I need toes?
Do you need toes? Or you can still use your fingers?
Does that matter?
Or don't want to answer? Okay. Let's not answer
Again, I don't care about people's body counts. I learned to not care about that. I don't want to like get myself upset.
But would it
overthinking things.
It would upset you if you found out it was a high count?
Well, that's because of just me being jealous. That's it.
So it would upset you? Yes or no?
Just being jealous.
So
it would upset me, but it's not like I'm gonna not talk to the guy.
That's fine.
Unlike you said, oh no.
No, I know. I already know what I want. I wouldn't want a girl of high body count. All right, that's just me. Right.
Okay.
So, anyways, if you guys enjoyed that, that's the end of the video. If you guys made it all the end, you guys know what to do, man. Give the video a big thumbs up. Subscribe, you guys, you're new, and let us know in the comments what you guys thought and any other videos you guys wanted to check out. All right. Anyways, we're out. Bye.
Bye.
Do it. Just do it. Don't let your